For 15 years, I believed I was broken. I tried every diet: keto, Whole30, calorie counting, intermittent fasting. I'd lose 20 pounds, gain back 30. My doctor kept saying calories in, calories out, but my body wasn't following the math. Then an endocrinologist told me something that changed everything. Your hormones are fighting you, and until we address that, willpower won't matter. That conversation led me to understand why traditional dieting fails 95% of the time and what actually works instead. Let me start by explaining something your doctor probably never told you. Your body doesn't want you to lose weight. I don't mean that in a motivational poster way, I mean it biologically. Your body is programmed to defend its current weight, and when you restrict calories dramatically, it fights back. Here's what happens when you go on a traditional restrictive diet. First, your metabolism slows down. Your body thinks you're starving, so it conserves energy. Studies show metabolic rate can drop by 20 to 30% during severe calorie restriction. That's why you hit plateaus even when you're eating less. Second, your hunger hormones go haywire. Ghrelin, the hormone that makes you hungry, increases. Leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, decreases. Your body is literally screaming at you to eat more, overriding any willpower you think you have. Third, your brain changes how it responds to food. MRI studies show that after prolonged dieting, the reward centers in your brain light up more intensely when you see high-calorie foods. Your biology is hijacking your decision-making. This isn't weakness, this is evolution. For thousands of years, food scarcity was a survival threat. Your body developed mechanisms to protect you from starvation, and it can't tell the difference between a famine and a diet. So when you lose weight through restriction and then regain it, sometimes more than you lost, that's not failure. That's your hormones doing exactly what they're designed to do. Now let's talk about the hormone that changes this entire equation: GLP-1. GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide 1. Your body naturally produces this hormone in your intestines after you eat. It does 3 critical things. 1, it signals your brain that you're full. It's not about portion control or willpower. It's a direct chemical message that says, we've had enough. 2, it slows gastric emptying. Food stays in your stomach longer, so you feel satisfied for extended periods instead of hungry again 2 hours after a meal. 3, it regulates blood sugar by improving insulin sensitivity. When your insulin receptors work properly, your body doesn't store excess glucose as fat as readily. Here's the problem. Many people who struggle with weight have dysregulated GLP-1 signaling. Maybe their body doesn't produce enough of it. Maybe the receptors aren't responding properly. Either way, they're missing the natural off switch that tells them to stop eating. This is where metabolic dysfunction starts. It's not about lack of discipline. It's about your body's signaling system being disrupted, often by years of yo-yo dieting, inflammatory foods, chronic stress, or genetic factors. And here's what traditional dieting does to make it worse. Restriction further disrupts these hormonal signals. You're fighting your biology with willpower, and biology always wins eventually. This is where GLP-1 medications fundamentally change the conversation. These aren't diet pills. They're not stimulants that suppress appetite artificially. They're not magic bullets that melt fat while you sleep. They're medications that restore the hormonal signaling your body should be doing naturally. GLP-1 receptor agonist medications, like semaglutide, mimic your body's natural GLP-1, but with a critical difference. They last much longer. Your natural GLP-1 breaks down in about 2 minutes. These medications last about a week. That means sustained appetite regulation, not willpower-based restriction, but your body naturally signaling fullness at appropriate times. Clinical studies, published in journals like the New England Journal of Medicine, show that people using GLP-1 medications lose an average of 15% of their body weight over 68 weeks. That's 30 pounds for someone weighing 200 pounds. But here's what matters more than the number on the scale. These medications address the metabolic dysfunction that caused weight gain in the first place. They help regulate blood sugar, which reduces insulin resistance. They lower inflammation markers throughout the body. They improve cholesterol profiles. The SELECT trial even showed cardiovascular risk reduction in people with pre-existing heart disease. You're not just losing weight, you're restoring metabolic health. Let me talk about something that doesn't show up in clinical trials, but matters just as much: What happens to your relationship with food? Traditional dieting creates a war zone in your mind. Every meal is a test of willpower. Every craving is a battle. You're either good or bad based on what you ate that day. Food becomes the enemy, and your body feels like a betrayer. GLP-1 medications remove that internal warfare. When your hunger hormones are regulated, healthy eating stops feeling like deprivation. You're not using willpower to avoid the office donuts. You genuinely don't want them because you're satisfied from breakfast. You're not feeling guilty for eating dinner. You're eating until you're comfortably full and then naturally stopping. The constant mental load of, should I eat this? Shouldn't I eat this? Fades into the background. Food becomes fuel and enjoyment again, not a source of shame or anxiety. Patients describe it as finally feeling normal around food for the first time in years. And here's what that emotional relief creates: sustainability. You're not white-knuckling your way through another diet, counting down to the day you can eat normally again. You are eating normally, with your body's signals working properly instead of fighting you. Here's where most approaches, whether traditional diets or even some medication programs, fall short. They treat everyone the same. But your body chemistry is unique. Your hormonal baseline is different from your neighbors. Your metabolic response to food is different. Your history of dieting, stress, sleep, inflammation, all of it creates a unique biological profile. This is why cookie-cutter meal plans don't work. This is why your friend can lose 30 pounds doing exactly what you tried and failed at. You're not failing. You're just being given a one-size-fits-all solution for a highly individual problem. Effective weight management requires personalization. It requires understanding your specific metabolic dysfunction, your hormonal imbalances, your medical history, your lifestyle constraints. It requires a physician who doesn't just hand you a prescription and say, "Good luck," but who monitors your progress, adjusts your treatment based on how your body responds, and addresses the specific barriers you're facing. This is the difference between medication as a Band-Aid and medication as part of a comprehensive metabolic health strategy. This brings me to Direct Meds and why their approach addresses everything I've been talking about. Direct Meds isn't just providing access to GLP-1 medications, though that's part of it. They're providing a personalized, physician-led approach to metabolic health that recognizes weight management is complex and individual. Here's how their model works. Step 1. Comprehensive medical assessment. You complete a detailed intake that goes beyond just how much do you weigh. It evaluates your medical history, current medications, previous weight loss attempts, hormonal factors, lifestyle challenges, everything that contributes to your unique metabolic situation. Step 2. Board-certified physician consultation. You're not talking to an algorithm or a health coach reading from a script. You're consulting with a U.S. licensed medical professional who specializes in obesity medicine and metabolic health. They review your assessment and determine if GLP-1 therapy is appropriate for you. Step 3. Personalized treatment plan. If approved, you receive compounded semaglutide from FDA-registered U.S. pharmacies. Your dosing is tailored to your body's response, not a standardized protocol. And you have ongoing access to medical support, not just at the beginning, but throughout your journey. Step 4. Sustainable results. Because the medication is addressing hormonal dysregulation and metabolic dysfunction, the root causes, the weight loss is gradual, consistent, and maintainable. Your body is adapting to a new normal rather than fighting against restriction. The cost structure makes it accessible. Your first month starts at $147 as an introductory rate, with transparent fixed pricing thereafter. No insurance battles, no prior authorization delays, no surprise bills. But more importantly, you're not just getting medication, you're getting medical partnership. Someone monitoring your progress, adjusting your treatment, helping you navigate challenges, and ensuring this approach is sustainable for you specifically. Let me be very clear about what GLP-1 medications are not, because managing expectations is critical. They're not instant. Weight loss is gradual, typically 1 to 2 pounds per week. This isn't a crash diet, it's metabolic recalibration, and that takes time. They're not effortless. You still need to make reasonable food choices, prioritize protein to maintain muscle, stay hydrated, move your body. The medication makes those choices easier by regulating your appetite, but you're still an active participant. They're not for everyone. If you have a history of thyroid cancer, MEN2 syndrome, severe pancreatitis, or if you're pregnant, these medications aren't appropriate. Medical screening exists for a reason. They're not forever necessarily. Some people use them for 6 to 12 months to reset their metabolism and then maintain with lifestyle changes. Others use them longer term as chronic disease management. It depends on your individual situation and should be decided with your physician. And finally, they're not a substitute for addressing other health factors. If you're not sleeping, if you're chronically stressed, if you have underlying hormonal imbalances beyond GLP-1 dysregulation, those need attention too. Medication is a tool, not a cure-all. Understanding these limitations actually increases success rates because you're approaching this realistically rather than expecting magic. Even with medication regulating your appetite, what you eat matters, both for results and for how you feel. Protein is non-negotiable. You need roughly 100 to 150 grams daily, depending on your body weight. Without adequate protein, you'll lose muscle along with fat, and muscle loss destroys your metabolism. Prioritize lean meats, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, legumes. Fiber supports the process. Aim for 25 to 30 grams daily from vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans. GLP-1 medications slow digestion, and fiber keeps everything moving while stabilizing blood sugar. Hydration is critical. These medications cause increased sodium excretion, which means you're losing more water. Drink half your body weight in ounces daily. If you weigh 180 pounds, that's 90 ounces. Dehydration amplifies side effects like nausea. Whole foods over-processed. Ultra-processed foods are engineered to override satiety signals. Even with medication helping, they can still trigger overeating. Focus on foods with one ingredient: chicken, broccoli, quinoa, berries. Movement matters, not for calorie burning, for muscle preservation. Strength training 2 to 3 times weekly signals your body to keep muscle tissue while losing fat. You don't need a gym. Body weight exercises work. The medication creates the appetite control. You create the nutrition foundation. Together, they produce sustainable results. If what I've shared today resonates, if you're tired of fighting your biology with willpower, here's what I recommend. Start with education. Don't just take my word for this. Research GLP-1 medications. Read the clinical studies. Understand the science. The more informed you are, the better decisions you'll make. Then, take the first step. Go to the link in the description. Direct Meds has a comprehensive medical intake that evaluates whether GLP-1 therapy might be right for you. It's free, there's no obligation, and it's reviewed by a real physician, not an algorithm. If you're a candidate, you'll have a telemedicine consultation where you can ask every question you have. How does dosing work? What side effects should I expect? How do I structure my nutrition? How long will I be on this? Your physician will address all of it. Here's what Direct Meds provides that most programs don't. Real board-certified physicians specializing in metabolic health. Not just prescribers, but partner in your journey. Personalized treatment plans based on your unique biology. Not one-size-fits-all protocols. Ongoing medical support throughout your treatment, not just at the beginning. Transparent pricing starting at $147 for your first month. No hidden fees, no insurance battles. FDA-registered U.S. pharmacies with quality standards, not questionable compounding operations. But here's what they can't provide: motivation to show up for yourself. Commitment to prioritize protein and movement. Willingness to be patient with gradual progress. That part is still on you. The medication works with your biology to make healthy choices easier, but you're still the one making those choices. If you've spent years blaming yourself for failed diets, it's time to stop. Your biology was fighting you. Now you have a tool that works with your biology instead of against it. The link is in the description. Take the medical intake, see if you qualify, and give yourself the chance to finally stop fighting your body and start working with it. You deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve to have energy for your life. And you deserve an approach that's based on science, not shame. Start your free visit today. Let's see if this is the metabolic reset you've been looking for.